Let's have some fun. Welcome and good afternoon. My name is Shane, and today we're going to have some fun listening to some great music. This is a little different, actually, because it's not fully music, but it does have music in it. We're going to listen to Bo Burnham, Can't Handle This, the Kanye Rant. This is from a special that he did on Netflix, not the most recent special, but the one he did a couple years ago called Make Happy. And I've actually heard this. This is. I mean, it's not on a Spotify playlist because it's not solely music, but it is one of my liked YouTube videos because of its brilliance. So I've listened to a couple of Bo Burnham songs recently off of his new Netflix special, which I'm still going to make time to watch and maybe react to. Um, and I think they kind of give a glimpse of him. He's been very open about his struggles with some mental health issues, and I think you can see that in the songs that he's done since coming back. But you can also see that even in the songs that he did a couple years back, and he does it in a humorous way. But if you kind of get below the surface and peel that onion back a little bit, you can see some sense of his him being honest and I think putting himself out there on what he's really feeling. Again, he does such an amazing job of kind of wrapping that in humor, and if even if you take all that away, just his musicianship and his ability to craft lyrics and tell a story are what make him one of my favorite comedians, if you will. But he's also a great musical artist too. So this, I don't know if you haven't seen this already, you're in for a real treat, I think, because, well, I'll make more comments about this a little bit later. We'll let you see it, but I guess while you're watching it, if you haven't seen it, kind of be looking for those under the surface meanings that are going on here, that are kind of that have that comedic crust to them, if you will. And I think that's all I'll say about that. If for some reason, since this was on Netflix, I don't know if this gets blocked, you'll see video blocked covering the video in the corner. You'll be able to listen along. You won't be able to see it necessarily that well. But I put all of my unblocked videos on my Patreon. Patreon, you can have access to music that's all of the unblocked music, for example. You can get access to songs before they're on YouTube. And I'm beginning to do the Beatles' entire catalog on there because you can't, it never makes it onto YouTube because of those songs get blocked so easily. So I may try to get some Beatles stuff on here, but in the past I've tried half a dozen times to get Beatles stuff on here and never can get them on here, even with video block covering it. Even the music and the just the sound is blocked. So I'm putting it on my Patreon because it is, in my opinion, it's still fair use to critique and comment about music, even though you're playing it for people. And on Patreon, the way I have it set up, we kind of get around those hoops that you have to jump through, because YouTube, when they block videos, there's in most cases 95% of the time or whatever, it's not a human being that's making these choices. It's an algorithm that finds the music in your video and blocks it automatically. So you don't want to hear about all that. Let's get to listening to this.
I went to Kanye West's recent tour, the Yeezus tour. It was a big, dramatic, theatrical show. He did something very strange at the end of his show where he ranted for like 20 minutes. It was kind of a rant, kind of a song. He had auto-tune on his voice, and there was an instrumental in the background. Like this instrumental. He talked about his problems. Race. Power. His $90 t-shirts weren't selling very well. That was most of it. And I watched this. I thought maybe I could do this. I'll be honest, my problems not as high stakes as Kanye's, but I have problems. And maybe a crowd in New York would be nice enough to indulge me. So as we get to the end of a night of theater and comedy and sweaters coming on and off, I got one question for you. And that question is, can I say my shit, New York? Can I say my shit? I got lots of shit to say. I got lots of shit to say.
Love the auto tunes and making fun of the Kanye thing or call back to Kanye, right?
I can't fit my hand inside a Pringle can. I have a huge amount of trouble fitting my hand inside of a Pringle can. I can get my hand like 4 inches into the can, but then I have to tilt the can into my mouth. But by that point, a bunch of crumbs have accumulated at the bottom of the can, so they all go spilling onto my face. What I'm trying to say is the diameter of Pringle cans is way too small. I'll say it again, the diameter of Pringle cans is way too small. 2 radiuses of a Pringle can is way too small. If you feel me, put your hands up. Come on. If you feel me, put your hands up. Look at all these hands that are way too big to fit inside a Pringle can. Your hands are too big to fit inside a Pringle cans. Your hands are too big to fit inside a Pringle can. You think you can? I know you can. You think you can? Pringles, listen to the people. I am sure 90% of the complaint letters you get are about the width of your cans. Just make them wider. I've overdone the Pringles thing. Sorry. Wanna have a daughter. Wanna have a daughter. So I can finally have someone around the house who can fit their hands in a Pringle can. Yes, I'm still on the Pringle cans thing. Yeah. I'll move on, all right?
I'm not going to stop it too much, but I love the way he kind of lures you into the trap there. He starts with, again, he talks about the way Kanye uses auto-tune, and so he does this in his own style of Kanye, and then he throws in humor about the Pringles can, kind of getting us on that track. And then subverts our expectations by talking about wanting to have a daughter. So we're thinking, oh man, this is serious. This is more serious. Just to drop the punchline on you at the end.
But that is priority numero uno. I don't go to the gym because I'm self-conscious about my body. But I'm self-conscious about my body because I don't go to the gym. Irony can be so painful. That's a catch-22. Let's do this. I went to Chipotle. Went to Chipotle. Got myself a chicken burrito. I went down the line, I got like all these ingredients, and then at the end of the line, the guy tried to wrap the burrito, but half of the shit inside the burrito spilled out. He still wrapped it. I was like, dude, you should have warned me. You're a burrito expert. You should have told me halfway through, hey man, you might be reaching maximum burrito capacity here. Do you think I want a messy burrito? No one wants a messy burrito. The whole appeal of a burrito is that all of the ingredients are contained within the confines of the tortilla. I wouldn't have gotten half this shit if I knew it was gonna fit in the burrito. All right, look. I wouldn't have got the lettuce if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the cheese if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the peppers if I knew they wouldn't fit. I wouldn't have got half of it. Like, I'm okay with small mistakes. If you got no more chicken, I'll take pork. But I'll blow my dad before I eat a burrito with a fork. Wouldn't have got the lettuce if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the cheese if I knew it wouldn't.
Wouldn't have got the peppers if I knew they wouldn't. Man, I wouldn't have got half of it like, half of it like, half of it like, half of it like,
Half of it right now. I think it's time that we break it down.
So I'll pause it there since it's on a pause. Again, he on the surface, this is another just comedic, something comedic that he's telling a story about trying to get a burrito, and he wants all the ingredients, and nobody tells him along the way that if you get all the ingredients, it's going to be a mess at the end. Um, so on the surface, it's a funny story he's relating about a burrito, and we can all laugh about it. But if you think about it, kind of metaphorically, I think he's making a real comment about his fame and his rise to stardom and his life, uh, as he's come to grips with that. Would he have made the same decisions if he would have known, or somebody would have told him that this is what he was going to have at the end? If his life was going to be messy in these ways, would he have still wanted to do everything, or do everything he could to be famous or to be a sensation? Would he have made those same choices? So again, on the surface, we have the story about a burrito, but kind of underlying that is his comment about, would we make the same choices if nobody ever told him that things were going to be like this? Um, so yeah, it kind of has a sadder undertone when you think of things like that, and we can kind of empathize with some of the struggles that he's gone through. Which again, he started this off by cueing us that he was going to be talking about his own struggles. He's talking about Kanye going on rants about things that were upsetting to him, and then he says, I may not have problems as big as Kanye's, sarcastically, but I have my own problems. And so he relates a couple of problems, but again, on the surface, they seem pretty petty or small problems. But underlying them, we can see he's really talking about some deeper issues that he's had to contend with. Okay.
I can sit here and pretend like my biggest problems are Pringle cans and burritos. The truth is, my biggest problem's you. I wanna please you, but I wanna stay true to myself. I wanna give you the night out that you deserve, but I wanna say what I think and not care what you think about it. A part of me loves you, part of me hates you, part of me needs you, part of me fears you. And I don't think that I can handle this right now. Handle this right now. I don't think that I can handle this right now. I don't think that I can handle this right now. I don't think that I can handle this right.
I don't think that I can handle this right.
To look at them, they're just staring at me like, come and watch the skinny kid with a steadily declining mental health, and laugh as he attempts to give you what he cannot give himself.
Think that I can handle this right. I don't think that I can handle this right. But they don't even know the herb of this right.
But they don't even know the herb of it. But I know I'm not a doctor, I'm a pussy. I put on a silly show. I should probably just shut up and do my job, so here I go. Wouldn't have got the lettuce if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the cheese if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the peppers if I knew they wouldn't. Wouldn't have got half. You can tell them anything if you just make it funny, make it rhyme. And if they still don't understand you, then you will run it one more time. Think that I can handle this right. Oh, handle this right. Oh, handle this right. And you don't even know the half of this right now. Right now. Handle this right. I'll handle this right. Handle this right now. Thank you. Good night. I hope you're happy.
And then we end with the mic drop. So yeah, I mean, there we see things get deep, and he lays out literally what he's, what he's really feeling inside. I truly believe that he's saying exactly what he's thinking about, and that is that he wants to please the people that have expectations of him, um, and provide them with a way to laugh and have fun. And the whole name of the show is Make Happy, which is not only trying to make the audience happy, but he says it literally. He says trying to give them what you can't give yourself. So he's trying to give his audience that humor, even though he himself isn't feeling that and isn't able to have that. And at the end of the day, he just wants to produce something for himself, but he can't do that because he's got to consider all of the expectations. He can't just do his own thing, or if he does, he feels like he'll alienate maybe some of his fans and that kind of thing. It's like once you get that level of fame, I'm not saying he's like the most famous person in the world or anything. I'm sure there are a lot of people that have never even heard of him, but once you rise to a certain level of success, you have expectations beyond yourself. And, we've seen it with many celebrities and athletes and that kind of thing. Um, you reach a point where you just kind of push on and try to do what you can to to make people happy, even if you yourself aren't feeling it. So yeah, again, I think he very clearly says declining mental health. And so on the one hand, and this is the thing that's such a gut punch, is that he does it in such a way that, like, it's a good beat, it's a good song, I think. Um, if we don't take a look too deep at the lyrics, very entertaining, um, on the surface, but again, the gut punch is that it's a like almost a cry for help. He yells, he cries out at a couple places there, and I interpret that as he's almost crying out for help almost. And he took after sometime after this, he took some time off before his newest Netflix special. Prior to even quarantine, he had kind of faded from the spotlight a little bit to take some time off. And so it's not very often that you see somebody being vulnerable like this, um, and yet on the other hand, it's still entertaining and that kind of thing. So again, it's something entertaining to watch from a musical perspective, but also we can really empathize with him. I think all of us can empathize, even if we don't have fame or stardom or anything like that, or huge successes like that. Everybody's kind of going through their own things, I think, in the world. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't know. Give me what do you guys think? If you've only heard the new Bo Burnham stuff and you hadn't seen the prior stuff, I mean, there are a lot of these same themes in his new material. Many of these themes are in his new material still, too. And he talks about it explicitly again. Um, but that special was also great. I recommend you go check that one out. It was also on Netflix, so go check out Make Happy, and I think you'll see some another kind of another side of him that has some of those same themes and tones to it. But again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If if you like this kind of content, consider hitting the like button. If you like the video, more people get to see it. And again, this is one that I'm just sharing with you. I've seen it before many times. Hopefully you enjoy it and can get some of that enjoyment out of it too, watching it. And if you're a big fan of Bo Burnham and hadn't seen this before, this was a good opportunity to kind of expose you to the stuff that he did a couple years back. I think that's all I'll say for now. Thank you so much for coming by, taking a look at the channel, watching the videos. If you're here for this, check out some of the other videos I've done. And until next time, have a great evening.